Hey friends, okay, so we're going to go over how to make the little flower. You're going to need pliers and wire. You'll see why. You're going to need these wooden circles. These are about 3 inches. I also have some that are 2 inches. And these little wooden rings, I will put all the links in the description. Scissors. And you're going to need fabric of your choice. What I have done, I have used fabric and then used a grunge recipe to turn it into more of a primitive vintage kind of look. And then I cut strips of about 1 inch. And that's the flower that we are going to make. You can use whatever fabric you want. You can put 1 fabric, 2 fabrics, 3 fabrics in 1 flower. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to start with the wooden ring that it's 2 inches. And I'm cutting the strips. I measured about 9 inches. You can go a little shorter if it's easier for you to move your hands and do what we have to do. I rather go a little longer. So, and that's about 9 inches that I cut my strip. We're going to fold our fabric in half, put the 2 tails next to each other and pinch in the center. And then we're going to insert from the bottom of the ring and pull the tails up into the loop. Now, this is when it gets a little complicated. If you make the tails too short, it might be okay for the first few, but as it gets tighter, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So you try it and you see which way you like it. So this is called the lark's head knot, and it is the basic knot for macrame. So that's what we are doing. Fold the loop, pinch about 2 inches down, insert from the bottom, and pull the tails through that loop. That's how we are pulling it tight onto the ring. And then I like to squeeze them tight together because once we start forming all our petals, I prefer when there is no space in between. But I'll show you a couple of little tricks as well. And we're just going to continue with that basic lark's head knot and going all around the ring, making sure that we pull it tight as we go along. This could also be done on a bigger scale. So let's say you have a styrofoam wreath and you want to do this technique, you can totally do it. Of course, you would have to cut the strips a little bigger and make like a little pretty rag bow design, so to speak. So we're just going to keep going, making our lark's head knot all around our ring. Making sure that you pull tight and that you turn and twist your tails so that they're facing you the right way of the fabric. And don't worry about the tails not being even, because then once we have them all in, then we're going to go in and trim them all up. So again, you make your loop, insert it from the bottom, and pull. This is also a very nice project to do with kids. This will be very pretty. So while you watch me doing this, I want to talk to you about the center. You won't see me do the center here. I just wanted to be specific for the technique that I used because I did it on one of my lives on Facebook and I had so many requests to do it in slow motion. So I used a styrofoam flower for the center. You can use a styrofoam ball and you can paint it. You can use a button. You can take those little wooden circles and cover them with fabric. You can do so many different types of center for this cute little flower. So it's entirely up to you. And you see, we just continue to tie the loops and the tails the same way and fill the entire little round, making sure that you pull them tight against each other as we go along. And if you wanted to alternate two different patterns or a pattern and a solid with the fabric, you would do 1 and 1, or you can completely go in with one color like I'm doing right now. And once you're done and you see the spaces in between, then you can go over it and insert another type of fabric. This is when I take my time to strain up all my tails and turn all the fabric so that it's facing the correct way. And decide whether or not I want to add more, because maybe in between two of the tails there is too much space. So that's entirely up to personal liking. And now you can go ahead. You can use a guide to trim that it's a circle. I am leaving the tails about 2 inches, 2.25, so that they stand out nice and straight. And the way we knotted them, they do stay nice and straight. So here, if you wanted to insert a little bit more color, you can go in between and add more. And before you do anything with the center, I take a little wire. This is pretty sturdy, yet very flexible. And I buy this at Walmart. And you can twist it up right against the little wooden ring. And then I usually take another strip of fabric and do another tail so that I cover that on. You could insert your wire before all the tails, but friends, to be honest, it's very uncomfortable to work with that wire sticking out. So I prefer to do it this way. And now you will go in and insert a few more tails if you wanted to, a different color if you wanted to, and until it's nice and filled to your personal liking. And again, the center could totally be anything you like. So usually I put in my center, and then that's where the little wood circle comes in, and I finish the back.